Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving y'all some of my most effective dysphoria hacks, tips to get over dysphoria, tips to help with your dysphoria, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Basically, this is just stuff that I used personally to help overcome my dysphoria. Some of them I still use today. Some of them I don't really use that much anymore, but they helped in the past. Oh, also, before we get into the dysphoria hacks, happy birthday to my chest. I am officially 2 years post-op. Fucking incredible. Never thought that I would ever even get top surgery. I do have a Q&A video out where I talk about the healing process, getting my scars tattooed, and all of that good stuff. So I'll go ahead and link that video in the description. For anybody who doesn't know what gender dysphoria is, or anybody who is just curious about it, gender dysphoria is defined by the DSM-5 as clinically significant distress or impairment related to a strong desire to be of another gender, which may include desire to change primary and or secondary sex characteristics. In short, gender dysphoria is just not feeling like you align with the gender that you were assigned at birth. Maybe you were assigned female at birth, but you feel like you want to be a boy, or you feel like you're not a girl, but you're not quite a boy, so you're kind of somewhere in the middle, or maybe you just don't feel like you belong to any sort of gender binary at all, and you just want to exist as an ethereal being in the forest, kind of like Hosier. Obviously, if you're trans, you've probably been struggling with gender dysphoria, you've probably come to terms with the fact that you have dysphoria, and it can be a bitch to deal with. So if you're struggling, then this video is for you. Alright, so the first one is a bit of a given, using your name and your pronouns as much as you can. So if you have chosen a name for yourself, or if you're still kind of in the process of like narrowing down your list of names to one that you feel like you enjoy, I would definitely recommend kind of tossing it out there to your friends, or any supportive family members you may have, to use your name and your pronouns as much as they can when referring to you or when speaking to you. That way you can get used to hearing it. It kind of helps affirm your identity. For me personally, whenever I first started going by Dakota and I first started going by he, him, hearing my friends use Dakota and use he, him, and hearing, you know, other people around me use my name and my pronouns, it just really helped like solidify my identity if I was ever unsure. I've heard people changing their email addresses. You can also like change your social media like handles, you know, like your usernames and shit. Like I changed my Instagram username, and then I ended up just making an entirely new Instagram account just with all of my new like name and pronouns and stuff, so that I was kind of like starting fresh. And then this one may sound a bit weird, but when I played like video games, especially like online games where you can have like a name, or you're creating like an original character or something like that, use your new name. Like use your name and make it you. Like literally just make it you. Like when I was a kid, I would go online onto like fucking like Roblox and Club Penguin and stuff like that, and I would make my character how I wanted to look in real life. For the longest time, I would model my video game characters after what I wanted to be. So like, I know it may sound a bit silly, but you know, that could help with your dysphoria. It helped with mine, so maybe it would help you. The second tip is another like kind of a given, but it's just wear clothes that make you feel good. They make you feel sexy, they make you feel beautiful, feel handsome. Even if it's as simple as like a fucking hat, or a pair of earrings, or a pair of shoes, or like a, I don't know, a fucking t-shirt that you thrifted and you think fits you really well. Just wear clothes that makes you feel like yourself. I know sometimes, especially when you're early on in your transition, you kind of want to dress a specific way. It's better for you and for your mental health if you just dress the way that feels good to you. So when I first came out, I was wearing a lot of like button-ups, and at the time I thought button-up shirts were the way to go, but I ended up just looking like a fucking 12-year-old boy all the time. Once I started to branch out and I got more comfortable with the way that I dressed, and I started experimenting with different types of clothing and stuff, I realized what actually made me feel good about myself and what I liked to see myself wearing. Wearing stuff that you feel confident in is a great mood booster, great dysphoria killer. Another thing that really helped me with dysphoria when I was first transitioning was just finding a hobby or like a creative outlet or something that could just like kind of take your mind off of everything and just distract you for however long you needed it. So for me, I would write in my journal, I would draw, I would go work out, just something to clear your mind. So like skateboarding, playing guitar, all that stuff helped me channel my energy into something that was productive instead of just sitting and seeping in all those negative thoughts and stuff. Talk to your friends, see if they want to go hang out, see if they want to go to the mall, you know, just do something that takes your mind off of your dysphoria. This one was another really good thing that I kind of discovered a bit late, I feel like. Finding other trans people to talk to, whether it's online, in person, maybe your high school has a GSA that you can be a part of. My high school's GSA sucked. I went to one meeting and I never went again. I really found some of my best friends online through Instagram or through YouTube. I found out what being transgender even was in the first place on YouTube, and then I slowly just kind of like found my community online. You know, there's tons of forums on like Tumblr, Discord, tons of trans YouTubers like myself that you could watch, you could interact with, and obviously if you interact with people who are going through the same stuff that you are, it's gonna lessen the burden on your shoulders. It's gonna make you feel like you're not alone, because you're not alone. There's plenty of other trans people out there that are going through the exact same thing that you're going through. Modify your body on your own terms. I think for most people, dysphoria stems from a sense of no control. Like you feel like you don't have any control over your body, you feel like you're not making enough progress. So modifying your body on your own terms gives you a sense of control. You can dye your hair, you can give yourself a haircut, you can bleach your fucking eyebrows, you can shave your eyebrows off like fucking Jenna Marbles did.
Hell yeah!
You can go get something pierced, you can get a tattoo, just stuff like that. It makes your body feel more personal. Going and getting tattoos, getting my hair cut, dyeing this one chunk of my hair pink, that made it feel more like me because I was expressing myself how I wanted to. I don't really know if that makes sense, but that's something that really helps with my dysphoria. This one I feel like a lot of people struggle with is doing things that validate your gender. So for example, like for trans masculine guys, that would be binding your chest and packing. For trans feminine people, maybe that means wearing makeup or tucking. It's just simple things like that. Some people may struggle with it, especially if they're closeted or they're not in a safe environment. It may be difficult to do that. Even though it seems like common sense, a lot of people don't understand just how much that helps with your dysphoria. Documenting your progress and then going back and looking at it and seeing how far you've come. This one has obviously really helped me, if you can't tell by my entire YouTube channel. I've spoken with some trans people about this, and I understand that some people think that it's a bit cheesy, but it helps. It really does help. I've had days where I felt like total shit about my body and my progress. I would go and I would look at old pictures or videos of myself and listen to my voice, or look at my face shape, or look at my body, and I would notice things that had changed, and it would just make me feel almost instantly better. Like for example, when I was 1 year on testosterone, sometimes in my head I would think that I still sounded like I did when I was 4 months on testosterone. And that's not the case. Taking self-portraits, taking videos of your voice, taking videos of your progress in the gym, all of that stuff can help you in the future because you can look back at it and be like, wow, I've come so far since then. And then the last biggest dysphoria hack, dysphoria destroyer that I want to talk about in this video is something that I'm still working on myself, but it is something that has actually really helped. It's called body neutrality. Obviously, if you're trans and you're experiencing heavy gender dysphoria, body dysphoria, height dysphoria, what have you, it's difficult to practice body positivity because there may not be anything that you feel positive about in that moment. And I think body neutrality is something that could really come in handy when you can't express any body positivity. Basically, body neutrality is just looking at your body and picking out things that you just feel neutral about. Just things that you're like, oh, that's a part of my body. Like for example, my freckles don't get me misgendered. No one looks at me and goes, oh, you have freckles, you're a girl. Or my tattoos. My tattoos aren't male, but they're also not female. They're fucking sick ass tattoos. I have a birthmark on my right knee that people like to point out, but just because I have a birthmark on my right knee, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna get misgendered. It doesn't mean someone's gonna call me a woman. It's just little things that you don't particularly feel bad about, but you also don't particularly feel good about either. And again, it just helps make your body feel like home. It helps make you more comfortable in looking at your body and recognizing it as yours. Because like I said, sometimes body positivity can be really hard when all you do is just hate your body. It kind of takes the pressure off of having to be so positive about your body all the fucking time. And I think that's something that a lot of trans people struggle with. It's basically just practicing mindfulness, except that right now this is the body that you have, and in the future you'll look different. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. There are also tons and tons of online forums and Tumblr posts, Instagram accounts that focus specifically on dysphoria. Some of them post funny memes to help kind of lighten the mood about it. Some of them post tips and tricks on how to get over it. I did recently find a really great master post on Tumblr, so I'm going to link that down below for you guys because I think it would really help out. Anything that you need, it's probably on that list, and if it's not on that list, it's on that account. It's from Transgender Teen Survival Guide on Tumblr, so big shout out to them. They've got a ton of information on their account. Like I said, this is just a lot of stuff that helps me with my dysphoria, whether that was early on in my transition or now further into my transition. So it may not apply to you, but if you have anything that you feel like has really helped you, but I didn't mention it in this video, you can comment it down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any future videos, and I will see y'all in the next one.